Palantir keeps it strong today, soaring to massive $116 per share. The community is hyped. However, skeptics shake it all up, exploiting Palantir's secret technique. Elon Musk just did the unthinkable, and Palantir might be at the center of it. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Palantir just shocked everyone. Again, its stock price skyrocketed today, reaching a jaw-dropping $116 per share. Nobody saw this coming, and even now, people are struggling to wrap their heads around it. It's one of those moments where you check the chart, refresh the page, and still can't believe what you're seeing. One Twitter analyst summed it up perfectly. Guys, Palantir is actually $100+. I don't know if it's hit me yet. And honestly, that's the mood right now. It's surreal. A company that was once stuck in the mud is now absolutely flying, leaving everyone wondering, how did this even happen so fast? But then, just as fast as it shot up, Palantir's stock cooled off a bit, settling around 110 per share. Still an insane run, but that initial spike didn't hold for long. Here's the thing though, even with this crazy history-making move, some people are still super bearish on Palantir. And, of course, they're saying the same thing they always do. It's a massive bubble, just waiting to pop. They've been calling it overhyped for years, and even now, after this explosive rally, they're doubling down. However, some people are still bullish, with one analyst saying that it could reach as high as $400. But here's the kicker. Some people aren't just calling Palantir a bubble. They're saying it's straight-up money-grabbing. One analyst broke it down, explaining how Palantir has been raking in massive amounts of cash using a strategy that's been raising eyebrows. According to a Financial Times report, Palantir is making millions through something called the revolving door technique. Basically, it hires and rotates high-level executives in and out of government agencies, which just so happens to land them huge government contracts. However, this might not be the case. It's not outright shady, but it's definitely a way of keeping strong connections where it matters most. By having key people move between Palantir and high-level government roles in Washington and Westminster, the company keeps a steady influence on the decisions that bring in those lucrative deals. And it's been working. This strategy has allegedly been fueling Palantir's insane growth over the past few years. On top of that, Peter Thiel, Palantir's co-founder and chairman, has been a major supporter of Donald Trump, which some believe has only helped the company gain even more favor in government circles. So while Palantir's stock is making headlines, critics argue that it's not just about smart business moves. It's about knowing the right people in the right places. But wait, maybe we don't need to stress about all this. Right as the bears started piling on, one analyst quickly stepped in to set the record straight, and according to him, the skeptics just don't get it. An investor who goes by deep value investing thinks the negativity around Palantir is completely misplaced. In his words, "I believe Palantir has the strongest narrative in the US equities market today, with spectacular growth results. This is just the beginning." What sets Palantir apart? Deep Value points to its AIP platform, the secret sauce that makes the company truly different. Unlike other AI systems that sometimes hallucinate and spit out unreliable answers, Palantir's ontology-based approach actually maps out and understands an organization's unique data, workflows, and decision-making processes. In simple terms, it keeps AI grounded in reality, making it way more useful for big businesses. And here's where it gets wild. According to Deep Value, Palantir isn't just building software. It's creating programmable AI agents that could completely change how businesses operate, replacing a ton of manual work. That's next-level automation. And if it plays out the way he expects, Palantir's dominance is only getting started. His take? Short-term dips don't matter. He's keeping his strong buy rating on Palantir, believing that whatever pullbacks happen in the next few weeks will just be noise in the bigger picture. Over the next 24 months, he sees this stock going places, and no amount of skepticism is going to change that. And here's the crazy part. Remember in our last video when we talked about Donald Trump and Elon Musk's plan to dig deep into government spending? Well, things are already moving fast. Turns out, Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE, has already found and cut over $1 billion in federal spending. That was quick. According to reports, more than half of these cuts are hitting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, while other savings come from slashing $30 million in digital modernization efforts and $4 million in unnecessary federal leases. And this is just the start. They're aiming to cut as much as $2 trillion from the budget. But here's where it gets even wilder. Doge is now setting its sights on even bigger spending areas, like the National Institutes of Health, the Department of Education, and the massive $842 billion defense budget. Trump himself said Musk's team is uncovering fraud, waste, and abuse everywhere, and now they're even investigating Medicare and Medicaid payments for potential fraud. And it doesn't stop there. In a move that nobody saw coming, Donald Trump just halted the production of new pennies. And yes, you read that right. A viral Twitter post summed it up. President Trump halted all production of new pennies. Looks like Elon and Trump are penny pinching. Quite frankly, I love this. We are $36 trillion in debt. Something needs to be done. This admin with Elon and Doge might be our best chance to audit the government and give future generations a chance to not be buried in debt. Think about that for a second. No more new pennies. It's a small thing, but it sends a huge message. Every single dollar matters. And this administration is making moves that no one else has dared to try. And once again, this all loops back to Palantir. If the government is getting serious about tracking every cent, cutting waste, and overhauling spending, who do you think has the tech to help make that happen? Palantir's entire business is built on data, efficiency, and uncovering hidden insights. If the Doge team really wants to dig deep and restructure how government money is managed, Palantir could end up being the biggest beneficiaries of this whole movement. We're witnessing something huge here. Government spending is being put under a microscope, and companies like Palantir might be perfectly positioned to capitalize on it. And this might actually be true, because guess what? Palantir was involved in making Doge happen. According to a report, at least 3 people linked to Palantir were involved in recruiting engineers for Musk's Department of Government Efficiency last year. They weren't posting job ads. They were scouting talent in chat groups, Discord servers, and private forums looking for software engineers to help slash federal spending. One of them, Anthony Janso, a former Palantir engineer, was personally recruited by Steve Davis, a top Musk ally. They pitched Doge as a once-in-a-lifetime chance to fix government inefficiency, and plenty of ex-Palantir employees jumped on board. Now, going back, if the Doge is aggressively cutting spending, Palantir could face both risks and opportunities. On one hand, budget reductions might put some of its government contracts under scrutiny, especially if they're seen as too expensive or non-essential. Since a significant portion of Palantir's revenue comes from government deals, any major cuts in defense, intelligence, or federal IT spending could pose a challenge. However, if the focus is on making government operations more efficient rather than just slashing costs indiscriminately, Palantir could actually benefit. Its AI-driven analytics platforms are designed to streamline decision-making, eliminate waste, and enhance operational efficiency, all things that would align with a government looking to modernize while cutting costs. If Elon Musk has any real influence in this initiative, that could also play to Palantir's advantage. Musk has always been a strong advocate for AI-driven automation, and if he sees Palantir as a valuable tool in that mission, the company could find itself in a stronger position rather than a weaker one. From a market perspective, investors might react with uncertainty at first, fearing that cost-cutting measures will hit Palantir's revenue. But if the company successfully positions itself as an essential efficiency solution, it could turn this into an opportunity. And when this happens, it might shock a lot of people again. And the crazy part is the $400 price prediction can easily be achievable. The key will be how the cuts are structured, whether they're just about reducing expenditures across the board, or if they involve shifting spending toward AI-powered optimization, in which case Palantir could actually gain from the shakeup. So, looking ahead, Palantir's future looks bright. The company isn't just riding hype, it's proving itself with real utility and practical use in some of the biggest sectors out there. And for investors, it all comes down to what the great Charlie Munger once said: all intelligent investment is value investment. Why would you want to buy something that wasn't worth as much as you were paying for it? That's exactly the case with Palantir. The skeptics keep calling it a bubble, but time and time again, it's proving why it's valuable. From government contracts to AI-driven solutions, and even its role in reshaping federal spending. If this company is truly rewriting the rules, then the real question isn't if Palantir is overpriced. It's whether people have fully grasped just how valuable it really is. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there. What a way to end the year for Palantir, as it closed its 7th monthly chart on the green side. But here's the thing. The market has been crashing for almost 5 days, and people are speculating if it's a bubble waiting to burst. But it seems like it's showing clear signs of recovery now. In fact, analysts are predicting that it will hit $135 soon. And to add to the excitement, Roaring Kitty is back. Is this the start of Palantir's massive recovery? Will we hit another all-time high? Or is this something else? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. What a crazy way to kick off the year for Palantir. A single Twitter post lit up the internet, showing how Palantir had officially closed its 7th consecutive green monthly chart at an impressive $75 per share. It's wild to think that just a while ago, Palantir was seen as a terrible investment, something people wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And now, it's the talk of the stock market. The company has become one of the hottest stocks of 2024, delivering jaw-dropping returns of 346%. The vibe in the community is electric. People are celebrating, Twitter is buzzing, and Palantir fans are basking in the glow of this incredible comeback story. However, just today, another Twitter post went viral, and let's just say, it didn't sit well with everyone. Someone crunched the numbers and pointed out that Palantir ended the year with a jaw-dropping $137 billion market cap, which works out to an average of $548 million added every single trading day. When you put it in that perspective, it's massive, almost too massive, and that's where the problem starts. The post spread like wildfire. People are now saying we should pump the brakes, calling this growth a potential bubble that's just waiting to burst. The excitement quickly shifted to unease, and the buzz turned into heated debates about whether this rally is sustainable or just a ticking time bomb. And to make things worse, the whole market has been crashing for the past 5 days straight, and Palantir hasn't been spared. It's been in the red every single day, adding fuel to the growing fears. This has spread chaos among investors. The panic is real, and it's already causing many people to start selling their shares, hoping to get out before things take a bigger dive. What started as excitement and celebration has quickly turned into a storm of uncertainty. However, not everyone sees this as a reason to panic. For some, it's more like a golden opportunity in disguise. One Twitter user even broke it down in a post, predicting that Palantir could drop at least 10% this month, calling it a prime chance for those waiting to buy more shares. While the chaos is pushing some investors to sell, others are keeping their cool, eyeing the dips as the perfect moment to double down. It's a classic case of fear for some, and optimism for others. It all depends on how you look at it. And in fact, when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, Palantir is far from an ordinary company. It's built on a rock-solid foundation, supported by some of the largest and most powerful sectors in the US. One Twitter analyst put it bluntly. Palantir is not some other company. They went on to explain that most of Palantir's customers are deep state players, the CIA, NSA, and the military-industrial complex. These aren't small-time clients. These are institutions with massive influence and resources. As the analyst pointed out, the Pentagon isn't throwing hundreds of millions at a nothing-burger company. This perspective has sparked confidence among some long-term believers. Despite the current downturn and the fear gripping the market, many see Palantir's core business and partnerships as a testament to its resilience. Sure, it might be facing short-term turbulence, but to its die-hard supporters, this is just another chapter in a much bigger story. So, this current correction isn't something we should be scared of. In fact, some investors actually see it as a healthy pullback, with a prediction that Palantir could soon hit $135. Why? Because of its strong AI-driven nature, a factor that's expected to make the company even more powerful as it continues to grow. One analyst explained this clearly in an interview, saying that Palantir is the AI winner of 2024. He believes that come 2025, Palantir will start seeing wider and bigger profit margins, which is exactly what helped the stock take off in mid-2024. The analyst even suggested that Palantir might actually outperform the semiconductor sector in 2025, which is a bold prediction, but one that carries a lot of weight given the direction the company is headed. Yes, it's facing some bumps in the road right now, but with AI playing such a huge role in its future, the long-term outlook remains incredibly promising. For some, this correction might just be a chance to buy in before the stock takes off once again. And let's not forget about the future of drone technology, which Palantir is deeply involved in. For the United States, drones are shaping up to be a game changer, especially in defense and intelligence. Palantir's technology plays a key role in powering these drones, making it not just a passing trend, but a crucial part of future warfare and national security. So, looking at the big picture, the future for Palantir is looking incredibly bright. With its AI-driven technology, strong ties to key sectors like defense, and its role in shaping the future of drone tech, the company seems poised for even bigger things in the coming years. Instead of worrying about the current market fluctuations, we should be excited about what's to come in 2025. Just like how this Twitter user shared in a post, the excitement is all about looking ahead. Speaking of interesting posts, just today, there was a huge voice in the stock community who finally made his return after a long absence. It's none other than Roaring Kitty. And he made quite the splash with a meme post that simply means, "Give it to me." This post sparked a ton of speculation in the community, especially among Palantards. Now, given how Palantir has been turning heads recently, becoming 2024's top-performing stock with massive price rallies and all the buzz surrounding its AI and defense tech, it's no surprise that people are wondering if Roaring Kitty's post has anything to do with it. Is he signaling that he's one of Palantir's hopefuls? Could this mean he's planning something big with the stock? Or is this just a coincidence? That's for you to decide. But one thing's for sure, Roaring Kitty's return could have a serious impact on the market. After all, with the market having been in the red for over 5 days, his influence could spark a major reversal. The green market atmosphere that his presence often brings might just be the catalyst Palantir needs to stop its downward trend and shoot back up. If that happens, we could see a wave of excitement and new all-time highs for Palantir, reviving the optimism that has made this stock so exciting to watch. And here's the big part. Palantir is here to stay and is on track to dominate the AI industry. In fact, even many of the AI startups popping up today started by emulating Palantir. Some are basically just copies. That's a huge testament to the strength of Palantir as a company, especially when you look at its strong fundamentals and the nature of its tech. Palantir's CEO, Alex Karp, touched on this in a recent interview. He pointed out that almost every defense tech startup is an ex-Palantirian. He went on to explain how the company's influence is so powerful that now, everybody in Silicon Valley wants to copy it. According to Karp, you can't even get an investment in enterprise software these days without somehow bringing in an ex-Palantir employee or trying to replicate what Palantir has built. This really speaks to how dominant Palantir has become. The company's innovations have set the standard, and now it's not just about competing with other players in the field. It's about leading the charge and setting the trends that others are desperately trying to follow. With all said and done, despite the recent market turbulence and concerns about a potential bubble, Palantir's future remains incredibly strong. With its AI-driven innovation, deep ties to government sectors, and continued dominance in defense tech, the company is in a prime position to lead the way into the future. Whether it's the current dip or the market's uncertainty, Palantir's fundamentals and strong leadership suggest that it's here to stay, and its potential for growth in 2025 and beyond is something investors should definitely keep an eye on. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.